name is Robert, and this is kind of sort of part of the mold story. So there's going to be multiple segments of this. I don't want to make this a long stream or a long video so you guys can kind of get the points across. But if you're wondering how bad mold can be, if you suspect you got mold and you don't know what to do, let me express to you how bad this stuff can actually be, because a lot of people don't understand just how deadly this stuff is and what it can do to you. So let me paint a picture for you, if I will. You suspect you got a mold problem. The air almost has a different texture, and you realize that you've maybe got a weird smell or something is off about the house. So you buy air purifiers, and as the days go on, you realize that the air that you're breathing doesn't have the best quality. You can look at the percentages, some of the Shark air purifiers, things like that. So you're looking at the air purifiers and like, oh, well, that's 88%. It can't be that bad. But the next day it's like 78. And then sometimes it's like 60, sometimes it's 90. It just kind of depends what's going on. So you're like, do I trust these purifiers? What am I doing? Imagine getting ready to go to bed, and you look at the purifier and it says 12. And you realize that, yeah, you actually can't breathe. So you think, am I going to go to a hotel? What am I going to do? Long story short, man, we lived this nightmare, and I barely made it out. I'm gonna wind up with something terrible. Cancer, whatever it might be. I've got mycotoxin poisoning. We had to throw away everything that we've ever owned. We had to restart life. Fortunately, we had a lot of equity in our house, and I was able to kind of restart. But I've spent $200,000 of cash from the equity of the house just rebuying stuff. Right. So that's why all these tools look like shiny and new. It's because they are new. So I'm going to paint the picture for you. It's the middle of the night. It's cold outside. Fortunately, we had a 30 by 20 shop attached to this house with heating and air conditioning, and it was a separate HVAC system from the rest of the house. And what we wound up doing, we grabbed the kids. We had 2 kids, me and my wife. What's going on, man? So we grab our 2 kids. Well, first we kind of figured out what we were going to do. So we decided we're going to go in the car. So we grab the 2 kids. We get in the car, and we're like sleeping in the car, barely. Don't ever try to sleep in a car, right? Kids are behind you, so you can't kick the seat back, right? You take a nap in the car when you're by yourself, it's not a problem. I kick the seat back, right? My feet are up in the air like this, right? On the dashboard, up against the glass. And I'm pretty much like a freaking clam, like a angle symbol, freaking looking like a square root up in the front of the car, just miserable, terrible. But that was just the beginning of the problems. So the next day we buy tents. Go to Walmart, we buy some tents. Now we're living in tents in the garage, doing live streams, just like this is normal, right? So we clean out the garage. We figure we're going to live in the garage and start trying to figure out what the heck is going on with the house. So then you fast forward, and we're building, we're clearing my daughter out of her room. We are moving them into one, because half the house was like not good, right? And we've already started plastering off walls in the house. So we got like 4 or 5 sheets of the painter's plastic, the thick stuff, protecting the other half of the house. We've kind of discovered that the air is bad in that area. So we're taping off certain parts of the house, and we're trying to like make this room livable. Yeah, man, it's been wild. Appreciate it. So we're trying to make this room like livable, right? I don't know if I really told this part of the story. That the last 2 years of that experience, it's almost like a blur. I get like flashes and remembrances like what actually I went through, because it's borderline PTS. I mean, it had to be traumatizing for everyone involved. So, I've got ADHD severely, and then also I kind of shut out that part of my life. I mean, I was dying the whole time that I was having to deal with this. What's up, Taylor? So we clear out the bedroom. We're pulling out the carpet. It's probably 1 o'clock in the morning at this point. I've got a picture of myself building a bunk bed so we can stay in this room, me and my wife. And we're literally, I ripped the top part of a dresser out, right? And then I got butcher block and I made that part of the desk and I put it up to where the thickness of a full size bed. And then I started framing 2x4s above that. And I built a bunk bed. Yeah, everyone does have their different threshold. The best way to explain it would be you're a 5-gallon bucket, and what's filling up is a spigot that's filling your bucket, and you got a pinhole that's capable of leaking mycotoxins. So your body can naturally kind of deal with mycotoxins, which is what the mold puts out, right? Not all mold, but when two molds get in the same area, they put off microscopic chemical warfare against each other. And the mycotoxins, I'm 7 times over the limit, right? So it's pretty crazy. So anyway, your body can only get rid of them so fast, and then you're collecting more. So eventually your bucket just overfills and you can't tolerate anything, and then you're just screwed like me from then on. So we're building this bed at 2:30 in the morning, framing and running the nail gun and just building this bed like it's normal, just trying to survive. What's up, Mike? And it's just crazy, man. So at one point, we're living in just 2 rooms in the house and everything else is plastic off. And we're trying to figure out, are we going to sell the house? Are we going to get a loan? Are we going to, what are we going to do? And at that point, we'd only spent about $3,000 at this problem now, which wasn't that much money in the grand scheme of what I've spent on this. But we hadn't renovated the house yet. We hadn't, well, by the way, we failed renovating the house. So if you've got, plans to remediate yourself, I don't know, man. I don't think it's doable. I don't think 2 people can do it. I don't even fully think that if once you got the sensitivity level that I've got, I don't know if you'll ever even be the same after remediation, because you're going to have sensitivities for everything. So like right now, currently in my own house right now, my throat kind of feels warm when I breathe in, and I'm just constantly bothered, and I've got like allergy symptoms forever because mycotoxins are in everything. So sometimes if I don't clean my car and I've got like little pieces of paper on the floor, and maybe like a McDonald's wrap, because I'm an electrical inspector, so you kind of live in your car. So you might have a water bottle, you might have a couple of pieces of paper, you could have a coat and just a book or something. And if I don't pick up those pieces of paper and constantly like vacuum my car, I can't breathe in it, and the air gets spicy and it makes me sleepy. And that's just the way it is. So, I'm not trying to make this sound like a downer or like not give you hope, because if anything, you should see hope because I made it out. You can beat it, but you can't beat it the way you think you can. You have to beat it mentally. You have to be willing to, first off, you got to get your mindset that things are never going to be the same. And the sooner that you come to terms with that, the sooner you can prepare yourself for what needs to be done, because you're going to be so sensitive to this stuff. You're going to want a new place. It's not going to matter if you have to just level the whole house and restart, for you to really feel like you got it all. You've got to go somewhere else. Mentally, you're just never going to be right in that zone ever again. So once you get to that level, where you're starting to have organ failure like I was, and you're losing 40 pounds in about 2 weeks. And if you go back and look at some of the shorts from last year, you'll know, because I was looking at some earlier, and it's pretty wild. It's actually really wild. So it's just been a ride, man. I was looking for a video where we took a circular saw and I attached some bits to it and then drove a screw in with the circular saw, just doing stupid stuff. And I was scrolling through the videos and I saw myself and I was like, whoa, that guy's dying. And it just kind of reminded me that I needed to make another video about mold and to let you guys know that it's a real thing. You know, it's an underrated problem. Um, Budsville says he's got mold issues in your brother's got mold issues in his attic. Does he have spray foam? Um, probably a spray foam, maybe. Because you got to get the air circulation. That's a bad deal. I just wanted to pop on real quick and say something. Sometimes people come into your life that are just as toxic as mold. At least you can legally kill mold. Nice, Dave. Oh, I'm not sure. He said he's having a guy remediate. That's good. That's expensive, but it's good. Insurance rarely ever covers it, and it's just one of those things. So if you're ever in the situation, or if you are in the situation, just based on the thumbnail and what's going on with your life, and you're searching for how bad is mold, it's very bad. And if you don't know that it's there, and then you find it, yeah, a leak in the roof, yeah, that's not good. Fortunately, that's easy to remove because that's kind of the exterior of the house. So hopefully it hasn't spread, and maybe you can take control of that. But for me, it got on my HVAC. And I remember this really vividly because I was laying in bed. I'd called in sick to work because I was just out of it. And I was literally just laying there, just thinking I was dying. And I was dying. And I was just laying there. And I'd already had my gallbladder removed. I already had surgery on that. And it still hurt where my gallbladder was. Like, it just, even my liver sometimes hurts when I get like enough mycotoxin. If I don't dust, because mycotoxins, they stay in the dust. So I was talking to remediation people, and they said, hey, you can't really kill this stuff. We're going to clean your house. We'll dust everything, but we're really not going to go in the drawers. And we're really just going to do like a surface clean and a deep clean and scrub the air. But the chance of this stuff coming back, appreciate that, Diligent Dave. Yeah, he's paying you guys to do it. That's good. You can reinfect your life pretty easily, like really, really easily. It's underrated how easily. I ran the Shark vacuum, which is this guy here, the other day. I was running this vacuum in the house, and it doesn't have a HEPA filter. And the white vacuum, that is a Shark at Walmart, specifically says on the thing, no vacuum emits cleaner air. That's your life now. If you've got mold problems, HEPA-Vacs are going to be your friend, because they don't keep moving the spores around your house. It's actually essential that you go buy a HEPA-Vac. If you think you got mold, go get a HEPA-Vac. You don't have a choice. You have to. And it makes a huge difference. And I was kind of skeptical of that. I wasn't like, because I did construction and all that, and you had a HEPA-Vac and blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking, how can a HEPA-Vac that is a bagless vacuum actually work? And yeah, it's a big difference. So if you think you got mold, go get a HEPA-Vac for starters. That's going to be the best thing you can do for your health and just your sanity. But, it's about taking that physical spore or microscopic toxin, if you will, collecting it and getting it out. So once it's on a filter or something, you got to throw it away. You can't move it around. You can't blow it around the house. You can't You just got to throw it away. So, freaking ADHD, man. Let me see here. So you don't see a cause of how the issue started in the first place. Um, so you don't see the cause of the issue that started. Yeah, we had a roof leak as well. But I had shingles in my attic, so I didn't know the roof was leaking, and there's no sign of it because the shingles in the attic. So everything went into the walls, and then I think what really started it, I started kind of moving the bedroom around a little bit and putting my desk in the corner so I could do YouTube in the bedroom because it was summer and it was, hot in the garage. And I was putting more holes in the wall to mount things. And I think it was in the walls. And that's what really kind of got it going was moving things around and mounting things to the walls and hanging shelves and doing all that stuff. Because that's where the mold found was in that exterior wall where I was putting holes ultimately is kind of what started it. But long story short, I mean, we did a full remodel in the room, but we didn't get it all. You can't see it because it's microscopic. So it just did a lot of damage, like a lot of irreversible damage to me. But I remember laying in bed during this remodel and we had this was pretty bad because we had already spent about $20,000 on this remodel and we had moved back into the bedroom at this point into our new remodeled master bedroom. And as I laid there, I felt like I was just suffocating more and more and more. Like whatever air I was breathing just was not any air. There's just no air in the air. And I thought to myself, crap, we didn't get it all. We should have really torn out the stuff above the closet because we were using the closet as a storage space. So we had some old insulation and some shingles were above this closet space and we didn't get it all in this bedroom because it was an old garage converted, I guess, is what we found out. So what was like the closet storage was our master closet and we left the shingles above that because everything was being stored in the closet while we were doing this remodel. So as we laid there, I thought to myself, crap, we got to take care of this closet. So we plasticed off most of the room and the closet, and we had that air purifier that we had from the get-go. And while we were demoing the closet, we had the air purifier inside there. And at this point, I was so sick, and I've got videos of this or pictures or whatever. But my wife is actually in the closet with a mask on because I physically couldn't do it. I was just out of my mind, just dying and in pain. And she's sawzawing the plywood and the thick shingles. The shingles are like 1 inch thick in the attic. And she's sawzawing all this stuff and taking it out from me and bagging it up and doing all that stuff. And that air purifier was in there while she was working. And I remember coming home after work. I remember the whole house just being like really heavy with air and I just couldn't breathe. And I immediately ran to Home Depot. Yeah, dude, my wife is like doesn't exist, man. Like it's just freaking awesome, right? But our relationships changed a little bit too, right? Because the man is the head of the household and makes all the decisions. Imagine imagine your wife seeing you die for a year and a half straight and having to assume all roles while you essentially go into autopilot in survival mode and really just get up, go to work for half a day, use all your vacation that you've saved because working for a municipality like that, you get a lot of vacation. You don't get a lot of pay, but you get a lot of vacation. And I used up, almost 8 years of worth of vacation and sick time during this process where I was getting what I was getting done and then leaving early every day for like 2 or 3 months. And just imagine feeling like that. So I vividly remember the machine was in that closet while she's working. And we had about 5 or 6 walls plasticed off. We had the bedroom wall, we had the hallway right by the bedroom. We had one of the main open cased openings from the living room to the kitchen. We had the kitchen taped off, and I taped off the bedroom and with zip walls and stuff. Just crazy. Like you can't even imagine what this looked like. Just living in this house with all this going on. Just wild, right? So um, we took that air purifier because air purifiers are supposed to be good, and we took it into the bedroom and sealed off the door. And that morning, I almost didn't wake up, and I was so out of it, and I was just sitting there dying, and I could feel my pulse slowing down, and like my whole heart, just everything was just slowing down, and I was just like dying. And I told her, I said, you can go to work if you want, but I'm not going to be here when you get back because I just couldn't, mentally, whatever it was. There's something about the side effects of mold exposure like that, and it has to do with like mental thoughts of despair, all kinds of bad stuff, man. It wasn't a good place at all, and I was pretty certain I was going to die. And she went outside to make breakfast, and she was like, "Hey, the air is better in the kitchen than in our bedroom." And she kind of drugged me into the kitchen, and the air was better in the kitchen. And so she finished working the rest of the day in that closet. I took off the whole day, called my buddy. He came down, dropped what he was doing, and helped my wife do the whole closet. And then that same day, I got in there a little bit later, and we re-insulated, sheetrocked, taped, bedded, and painted that whole ceiling just to seal whatever was in there in. I don't know if we got it all, but we did what we could. We killed what we could. We sprayed it, tried to encapsulate it, did whatever we could, the best we knew how, in one day. And so that night, the air was like better because air moves around so much. And I remember trying to figure out when I went back in that bedroom, the air was still heavy, and I was kind of like sniffing around. And as I was kind of going around the room, every time I do like a circle, I was like sniffing walls and like everything, man. And as I got close to that air purifier, every time I get close to it, the air was just heavy, and my throat was burning, and my throat was sore, and it was just something very distinctive. And I walked over to that air purifier and I gave it a big sniff, man. And it took me a second, but my whole face just started running, like eyes, nose, everything just started just dripping, man, just completely destroyed me. And then I started gagging, and my whole like stomach just turned and just bound up into like instant pain, like in your whole liver area. And that's how we found out that what it was, and what it was capable of, and how it moved, and all this stuff. But until then, we really hadn't done that much research on how bad mold could be. And that's why, as much as it sucks to tell you this story, and as much of a downer it is, I've got to tell somebody the whole experience, because it's not just like, hey, we had mold and I had some allergies, and my friend came over and said, hey, I think you have mold. And then we called somebody like, oh, you do have mold, and now I can breathe better. I wish it was that story because I hear that quite often, but you know, that was not the case. And it can get pretty bad pretty quick. So, we got to make these videos, we got to talk about it. And that's what we're doing. So, how bad can the mold get is an understatement of how bad it can be. We had Fusarium, we had Aspergillus, we had Stachybotrys. Um, we had them all. They're all there. Um, the type of mycotoxins that I have proves that they're there because certain molds will produce certain mycotoxins, and we're 7 times over the limit for uh, everything except for the geotoxin, which is 2 times over the limit. But we've got the orchotoxin, we've got the xylothrulene. We've got them all, man. So if you feel tired, if you have gastrointestinal stuff, if your liver feels like it always hurts up here, because your liver should never hurt unless you're me, which it constantly hurts. But if your gallbladder, which is uh, your rib bones here, like I got a really pronounced rib bone right here, and your liver is like right up here is where your liver is, a little bit lower, right there. It's like that punchy part, right below your sternum. Right here is your gallbladder, just a little bit below that rib bone, and then your pancreas is up here on your left side, somewhere over here. All that stuff was starting to get backed up and really messing me up. I just ate some rye bread mold. Will I be okay? You'd probably be fine, man. Um, even if you had mold present, uh, as long as it's not like reproducing, your body can deal with a certain amount of everything. It's when you get overrun and your body can't get rid of it faster than it's getting it in there, do you start to fill with these toxins. So, um, yeah, depending on what you do, if you actually like ate some mold or drank it, that wouldn't be good. That can start growing inside you. Um, Things like that. If you breathe some in, it'll start growing in your nasal cavities and stuff. That's like horror story stuff. But the microscopic spores that you know make you lose 40 pounds in 2 weeks, or make you feel like you want to die, or just make you feel so out of it that you just pretty much just sit there in a veg state, wondering why you're not dead, or your throat constantly burning for 6 months straight and no relief, or when you breathe in, like you get like a heat in your breath, like you're eating menthols, or you just get uncontrollably dizzy and disorientated, or you get so dizzy that you got to close your eyes and pretend you're like on a roller coaster. That's when you know you're in trouble. So yeah, I appreciate it, buds. So anyway, that's all I got to say. Just got to spread more awareness about it, and keep doing them. When I first got to this house, after rebuying everything and restarting life over, we were pretty heavy with these mold, videos. We picked up a lot of subs and helped quite a few people out now just through emails. So there's a guy called My Channel that experienced the same stuff. He'll probably be with me from a live. Does ozone neutralizer the spores if running in a closed room for a few hours? It depends on the mycotoxin. Yes, but not really. So if you are chemically sensitive like I am, the ozone will destroy you. Like it'll make you more sensitive than you've ever been. It'll ruin your life more. So one thing, if you're gonna run ozone, make damn sure, like, you would think, okay, there's 100% oxygen here, or whatever it is, right? I can breathe in here. The oxygen content's okay. 21% nitrogen and the remainder oxygen, right? So it's not never gonna be 100%. But if you feel like the air is safe now after the ozone, but you still smell a little bit. Like don't even try to go back in that car or house. It'll um but the specific microtoxin that I've got is trichothazine. It looks like trichothiazine if you were to spell it out. That stuff, man, sticks on everything like super glue. And even if you kill it, it still puts off VOCs that bother you. And you can't get rid of it. You need 500 degrees of fire for 30 minutes to destroy it. So if you've got trichothazine like I do, and you're 7 times over the limit on trichothazine, ozone isn't going to do anything to it at all. So it just depends on what you got, because I've got, all of it. But yeah, ozone can help. It will neutralize, remove smells, odors, kill most molds. But you've still got to physically remove the toxins that are microscopic. So even when they're dead, they're still going to bother you with VOCs. If you don't know what a VOC is, open a bottle of nail polish, and from 20 feet away, you get that volatile kind of tinge. That's a VOC. What about sanding wood? If I got the garage door with a fan open, do I need a mask? Yes, you need a mask. And if you've got the spores, if you just got the mold, then you just got a musty smell. Like, not all mold is bad. But, if you've got a dark area and it's a roof, chances you getting some black mold is pretty high. If you've got a bathroom and a wall and there's no continued water and it's just damp from time to time, and mold is growing, or like a sink or something, you're probably okay. But if you've got like something with constant water, constant food, a sugar, something like that, you're gonna get some pretty nasty mold pretty quick. So if you're trying to sand the mold out of the wood, yeah, you 100% need a mask. You need a respirator, not just a mask. An N95 ain't gonna do that. And you've got to make sure that it fits, because I didn't do the right thing, man. That's why we got to talk about this, right? It jacked me up so bad because I kept my beard. I put on a respirator, and it helped, but it didn't seal 100%. So yeah, it helps, but you're still at risk. How much wood, man? Replace it, cut it out completely and replace it. Don't even, I don't even know. No, I'm not good advice on like the whole remediation thing, other than just remove it. A lot of professionals will just take it out. If you got a contractor that finds mold, usually just cut out the whole stud or whatever it is. That's the best method, because trying to kill the stuff is not very good. Yeah. What's up, Joshua? We're just throwing another live in here just to spread the awareness. I was talking to somebody today and had some pretty cool conversations. Conversations about God and Jesus and all that stuff, and the state we're in, and how things have changed. And I've just changed as a person, and how I lost 40 pounds in 2 weeks and all that stuff. So just reminded me of my duty to talk about this whole mold thing all over again, because it's been a year. It hasn't even been a year. It was a year, man. It's pretty rough for almost a year. So yeah, exactly. So anyway, we're fixing to get off of here, but just want to let you guys know what the mold can do, how it's going to make you feel, and what I've been through just from mold. So you guys can make the best decision you can. The best thing you can do is just get out and reassess once you've, gotten a plan figured out on what you're going to do, because you got to have a plan. You can't just do what I did, because not everybody has a mortgage that is so cheap that you can afford to do stupidness for quite some time. It's been more than that. I've been here for almost 2 years plus one watching the struggle. Yeah. Yeah, we were dying long before we knew we were dying. Yeah, we're getting better slowly. I still right now there's something in my living room, man. It makes me agitated. I don't know what it is. Oh, I already vacuumed the house twice. Vacuumed all the couch cushions, wiped down every door sill, wiped down every fan, swept, mopped. I haven't tried wiping down the walls yet. I probably have to do that. Angel. Zip it. I don't know what zip it means. What's up, Texas Alpha? Oh, Joshua Wilson took care of him. That's funny. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to paint that picture. You're literally building a bed so you and your wife can be in one 10 by 10 bedroom at 3 a.m. in the morning, while you got 7 walls in your house plastic off so you can breathe in your own house. It's just an interesting, I grew up in construction, and I've lived in tents before while the house was being renovated. Like, it wasn't weird to me to do that. We've always kind of fixed up the houses. This is my third house now. This is the first house that I don't have to fix up, actually. Hola, bro. Hope you're doing okay. Just joined a random live. What's up, man? No, I appreciate it, man. Um, Random lives are good, man. You never know what you're gonna stumble on. You stumbled on electrical tool channel with a really stupid amount of knowledge that feels compelled to share it, because I feel like, man, I got a lot to share, and I wouldn't do humanity a service if I didn't. So I've got no choice. And then the experience that I went through with this mold thing, uh, everyone's got to know about it, because I'm literally looking on YouTube about how bad mold can be, and everyone's like, "Ah, it's not that bad," or like, "Oh, just spray bleach on it." Um, so the advice and stuff out there is just not good at all. Uh, and I feel like if I had someone like me making content about how bad mold can be, and I searched, "Hey, how bad can mold be?" I would have probably approached this a little bit differently. But it did work out. But we are at 3 times our mortgage that we were at, and we're at 2 times our interest rate, and we've got a third of the house we had, and we're you know restarting a mortgage all over again with $220,000 of brand new stuff, of cash that I spent from my equity, and that's where we're at. So we're just gonna keep trucking and be happy go lucky about it, because what else are you gonna do? And just keep swimming, like what Dory said, or Nemo, or whatever the hell that fish was. You just got to keep swimming, man. What else are you gonna do? You never thought my channel would be this red. Yeah. Thanks to Joshua. Thanks to Joshua. So anyway, that's all I got. But there's a couple of interesting things I was talking about with that guy because we're talking about all kinds of stuff with life. And I was sharing a Bible verse, and gonna get me on the spot. Matthew 13. It says that the kingdom of heaven is like a field where a man has buried the treasure, and you've acquired that field, and now he's buried it, and now you've acquired that field, and you got to go search for it. So it's a pretty cool kind of metaphor there, and it's a pursuit every day. Red, I'm glad to see his new shop is coming along. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. We might need to throw some more gray in here, get some more flex going. This should say something about mycotoxins. They're all clear up there. They should say something about no mycotoxins. They're all clear up there. I still got a couple of tools. I haven't told anybody this, but I sold a bunch of stuff to somebody. I sold my Evolution chop saw, the stand, because I had that at the old house. I sold my 998. I sold my 8 amp hour battery. I sold the recip saw. These are all DeWalt. I sold the flex grinder, 2 5s and a 2.5, a charger, the flex rear handle, the flex jigsaw, the DeWalt one-handed circular saw, the 4.0 DeWalt battery, and a Milwaukee bag, a couple of blades for $800. I was just gonna do the saw and something else. I think I was gonna do like the saw and something else for like 500. And yeah, it was killing me, man. It was. The air's better in here already. I can't give it to friends, so I gave it to a guy that has a barn kind of style, open air. It won't be in his house, won't be in his garage. Hey, I got sand. Yeah. So we sold all that for 800, man, which kind of hurt, but I don't know. I threw in like $1,200 of tools for like an extra $300. The Flex compact drill driver and impact driver, $99 at Lowe's now through April. That's pretty cool. I think they missed the opportunity with the quick insert. They really messed up on that. So I don't even want to see the compact stuff without a quick insert, man. It's 2024. Like, why? But anyway, that's about it for the whole mold thing. We're talking about tools now. But yeah, that's the state we're in. So that all kind of ties back to it, though. We literally gave away 2,000 something dollars of tools for $800 because the tools are contaminated. What's up, Shaka? You all take care. God bless and always shine on, man. I appreciate that, Shaka. Cowbell for you. We're gonna get off of here. I'm gonna go to church in the morning and see what's in store. We'll see you on Soul Stream tomorrow. We'll catch you later.